कृतस्य कुर्यान् मन उक्तपाणिभिः ध्रुवं स वै प्रेत्य नरकान् उपेति ध्रुवं स वै प्रेत्य नरकान् उपेति ये कीर्तिता मे भवतस्तिग्मयातनाः ये कीर्तिता मे भवतस्तिग्मयातनाः न चेद् इह इव पशितं यतां सः कृतस्य कुर्यान् मन उक्तपाणिभिः ध्रुवं स वै प्रेत्य नरकान् उपेति ये कीर्तिता मे भवतस्तिग्मयातनाः न चेद् इह एव पशितं यतां हसः कृतस्य कुर्यान् मन उक्तपाणिभिः ध्रुवं स वै प्रेत्य नरकान् उपेति ये कीर्तिता मे भवतस्तिग्मयातनाः न चेदिह पशितं यतां सः कृतस्य कुर्यान् मन उक्तपाणिभिः ध्रुवं स वै प्रेत्य नरकान् उपेति ये कीर्तिता मे भवतस्तिग्मयातनाः न चेदिह पशितं यतां हसः कृतस्य कुर्यान् मन उक्तपाणिभिः ध्रुवं स वै प्रेत्य नरकान् उपेति ये कीर्तिता मे भवतस्तिग्मयातनाः न चेदिह पशितं यथा सः कृतस्य कुर्यान् मन उक्तपाणिभिः ध्रुवं स वेत्य नरकान् उपेति ये कीर्तिता मे भवतस्तिग्मयातनाः What word meaning? Shri Shukavach. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, Na, not. Ched, if. Iha, within this life. Eva, certainly. Apachitam, counteraction, atonement. Atonement. Yata, duly. Aham, ahasa, kritasya. Amsa kritasya. When one has performed sinful activities, Kuryat performs. Manaha with the mind. Ukta words. Panivihi with one and with the senses. Dhruvam undoubtedly. Saha that person. Vai indeed. Pretya after death. Narkan different varieties of hellish conditions. Upeti attains. Ye which Krititaha were already described. May by me. Bhavantaha unto you. Tigmayatanaha, in which there is very terrible suffering. Translation purported by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Shukdev Goswami replied, "My dear king, if before one's next death, whatever impious act one has performed in this life with his mind, words, and body are not counteracted through proper atonement according to the description of Manu Samhita and other Dharma Shastra, one will certainly enter the hellish planet after death and undergo terrible suffering as I have previously described to you." This is also one very nice purport. I just now I noticed there's no full stop in between this. Like continuous flow. When I was reading, there are few shloka which Prabhupada translated like this. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions that although Maharaj Parikshit was a pure devotee, Shukdev Goswami did not immediately speak to him about the strength of devotion service, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 14.26. मां चैव विचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते सगुणा समतीते तान् ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते. Devotion service is so strong that if one fully surrenders to Krishna and takes fully to his devotion service, the reaction of his sinful life immediately stops. Elsewhere in Gita 1866, Lord Krishna urges that one give up all other duties and surrender to him, and he promises, Aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshashyami. I shall free you from all sinful reactions and give you liberation. Therefore, in response to the inquiries of Parikshit Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami, his guru, could have immediately explained the principle of bhakti, but to test Parikshit Maharaj's intelligence, he first prescribed atonement according to Karmakanda, the path of fruitive activities. For Karmakanda, there are 80 authorized scriptures such as Manu Samhita, which are known as Dharma Shastras. In these scriptures, one is advised to counteract his sinful acts by performing other type of fruitive actions. This was a path first recommended by Shukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit, and actually it is a fact that one who does not take to devotion service must follow the decision of these scriptures by performing pious acts to counteract his impious acts. This is known as atonement. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruh Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamsha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyat Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we're reading from 6th canto. So in 5th canto ending portion, Shukdev Goswami described the hellish planets. By hearing those description, our Parikshit Maharaj got very much affected. And yesterday we covered he got compassion by towards the living condition souls like us. So he got compassion that how we'll get delivered from this situation. So from this very shloka, our Shukdev Goswami start the answering, giving him the solution by which conditioned souls can actually counteract their reactions, sinful reaction. So in this shloka, he gives the as proper right in purport that he is quoting from the Karma Kanda section that he says that before leaving this body, one should atone for whatever impious activity he did with his mind, words, and the body. So this is the first solution which he gave, and later on we'll see he'll give the solution according to jnana, like what one should do according to jnana activity. Then after he'll come to bhakti, because Parikshit Maharaj will not be satisfied by hearing the answers of karma kanda or jnana kanda. He think that this is temporary solutions. Again, the person will commit the sinful activity. So any impious activity we does with these three things: with our words, with our mind, and with our speech. So there's a wonderful pastime that once upon a time on the river Saraswati, their sages they are thinking that who is the supreme personality of Godhead. They are discussing out of the three, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu, who is the supreme. So they thought regarding this, and they just to check who is the supreme and who is in mode of goodness, who is more is in the mode of goodness, because the qualities of mode of goodness is he is very tolerant and very equipoise and these kind of qualities. So they wanted to check who is the mode of goodness at to the greatest extent. So to check this, they sent one of their mates, that is Brigu, uh, Sage Brigu. So they sent him. So Brigu went to these different personality one by one just to check who is on greatest goodness and who is the supreme. So in this pastime, we'll see that how Brigu he committed this sin in all the three kinds. That is sin. He offended by words, then offended he touched did by mind and the body. Like you will see. So first of all, he went to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma and Brigu. Brahma's son is Brigu. So his custom, if someone goes to meet any superior or his father like or a special master, one should pay obeisances. But Brigu went for some other motive. He wanted to check how much he is tolerant and like this. So when he went to Lord Brahma, he didn't pay obeisance. He just standing straight. By seeing that, Lord Brahma became angry. He became angry, and then after some time, he uses his intelligence to counteract that anger. And what intelligence he uses? He said like, okay, it's okay. Like it's my own son. It's okay if you don't pay obeisance. It's fine. So their analogy is given like the we see earth come from earth we get fire and from fire we get water. So the elementary fire, from the fire we get the water. So from water has the power to extinguish the its source, that the fire. Similarly, here we see the expansion of fire is water. Similarly, the expansion of Lord Brahma is Brigu. So Brigu came from Lord Brahma, and he became the source of his anger. And you, by using his this expansion, he became angry, and by his expansion, he understood like he uses his intelligence that he is my own son, so he extinguishes that fire, that anger, he extinguishes. But anyway, he committed the offense by his mind when he approached Lord Brahma, and Brigu understood that he is not that much supreme, is not in that of goodness, because we see Lord Brahma is a predominating deity of mode of passion. Sometimes he also come under the influence of passion. By this pastime, we see he come under the mode of passion. So he committed offense to his mind. Then after he went to his brother, elder brother, that is Lord Shiva. Both Shiva and Brigu came from the same father, that is Brahma. First Shiva come, sorry, first four Rudas come, and after that Lord Shiva comes. So like this, after keep on going on, then Brigu Muni comes. So when Bhrigu Muni approached Lord Shiva, so another there is a custom when some younger is going to meet a elder one. So elder one, after compassion, after he didn't met for the long time, what they did? They embrace their younger sons, younger brothers and cousins and all. So he was about to hug or embrace Birgumuni, but he offended him by the speech. He says your body is you have very unclean habit. Your body is full of ashes, and ash that too ashes of uh, crematoriums. So this is not very pious ashes. So he said, don't touch me like this." And then after Lord Shiva became angry, and that time luckily his wife was there, uh, Parvati. So Parvati Devi felt his feet and tell him, let him go, he is your brother. You can say like that, and like that he got pacified like this. And then after Brigo also understood that he is also not that much capable of to be called as supreme. Then after he went to meet Lord Vishnu, not to Vaikuntha, in this Sh- Shwet Sagar only, in the causal ocean only. He went to meet Lord Vishnu. So that time Lord Vishnu was lying on the lap of Mother Lakshmi, and he was lying like I said, his head was there on the lap of Mother Lakshmi, and they both are there on the bed of snake. That what you call Anushesh. So when he went there, so they didn't notice that Brigu came. Our Acharya also explained that that time Brigu was not a pure devotee. So because Lord can understand his pure devotees when they're coming and approaching. And he committed such offense that a pure devotee cannot think of doing it. So when he approached Lord Vishnu, we are seeing it becoming grosser to grosser. First he offended with mind, very subtle. Then he offended with speech to Lord Shiva, and now he becoming more grosser. He going to offend the Lord by his body. So when he went there, he immediately put his feet on the chest of the Lord, and he put very hardly. And Lord also wake up, and Mother Lakshmi was seeing down. Then suddenly she sees of okay, Brigu came, and like this, Lord became very much uh, affected that Brahmana came to my house, and I didn't notice that he came. I didn't welcome him, and on top of it, his feet is very tender. He put on my heart chest. Then he was give him he make him a seat, arrange seat for him. He make him seat, and he started massaging the feet. By seeing this, he became so much affectionate. He was not able to speak any word because his mouth choked up. He was not able to speak because by seeing the supremacy, how much tolerant he is, and how is in mode of goodness Lord Vishnu is. And then after that, he claims that he is the supreme. And there's a one more thing is given, like this is a tangent, like when Brigumani put the feet on the chest of Lord. So on the chest of Lord Mother Lakshmi reside. So she became angry. Lord didn't become angry, but Mother Lakshmi became angry. So from that time only, Brahmanas are very deprived of uh, opulence. They are beggars. They are very poor in their lifestyles, so because of the anger of Mother Lakshmi. So by this we see these three kind of offenses which he did, but he didn't got affected because the motive was not to offend all three of them. His motive is to check who is the supreme, and the sages concluded after that that Lord Vishnu is the supreme of uh, all the demigods or all the god also. So this is a pastime which shows like we can commit offense by these three things, and the counteraction also we have to do either of these three: mind, words, and speech. So Prabhupada was saying that when someone get the best way of not committing any offense is to become a sannyasi. If a sannyasi get a tiranda, that is tiranda, which he surrendered to his supreme master, spiritual master or supreme lord, by his the tiranda from his word, speech, and the body. He surrendered to it. So when someone surrender all these three under the instruction of spiritual master, then he'll not get affected by, or he'll not commit any sin or offense by doing that. So this is the solution which Prabhupada gave. So, but here another point comes. Let's say someone committed any offense or anything. So can he do the atonement, like what he thinks of, like let's say someone committed an offense by his body, and he's just mentally is speculating, like let me counteract this by doing this activity. I'll counteract, but this can be bona fide or not be bona fide. We not able to get to know. Therefore, in this very shloka, this mention, by following the scriptures, one according to follow the scriptures, one should atone what is the sinful activity, impious activity he did. Accordingly, he should see what is the description is given for atonement, and he should atone like that. Mm. So here, hmm. But if he don't atone for that, he has to suffer in the hell. That is mentioned in this translation. So now, who will follow the words of the Shastras? Who will follow? Those who have believe that who will atone. First of all, who will atone? Those who believe that there is a next life, that there was a past life and there is in future there will be another life. If someone has this understanding, then he will only go through the atonement. If he got to know that, okay, by doing this activity in next life I have to suffer for that, I have to the reaction which I did the impious activity. But the modern civilization doesn't believe, even the scientists and the leaders and all, they don't believe in the future life. They think this life is all in all. So because of that, they never think of atoning for anything. They believe whatever they are doing is pious also. They are thinking which we are doing that is pious. That they think like killing animal or they're slaughtering they are doing, that is not a, there's no any harm in that, because they don't believe in next life and they don't believe in Shastras. So these two things they don't believe. So, but we we hear, like if someone, Prabhupada many times he says, if someone committed any offense, like let's say someone murder someone, so what is the atonement for him? Is to, like, this person also should be hanged by the, so that his reaction, sinful reaction, which is supposed to get in future lives, will get nullified or counteracted in this very life. So this is actually not a punishment. If action is seen as like a punishment, but actually this is like a mercy on that living entity. That next future life, you don't have to suffer for those reactions. But now people don't believe in the murdering someone or killing some, like hanging, the giving him some punishment like this. They think like one should not, we shouldn't harm any human beings like this, but they are harming animals. They are slaughtering animals, so the reaction they have to face for that, because they are not doing any counteraction of it. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj, when he heard this thing, like according to Karma Kanda, one has to do this activity and he can atone. Then again, he will commit the same activity after that. Prabhupada says people go to church and they commit any sinful activity. They go to church, they beg for forgiveness, again they come back to do the same activity. So it's like the tendency of doing the sinful activity doesn't go. Maybe reactions can be go, but the tendencies are not going. So therefore, it's very important the atonement, which we are also supposed to do atonement, but our atonement, uh, the first step of atonement for ourselves is to understand that I did the feeling of guiltiness, that Prabhupada says that we should never forget our past. As before coming to Krishna consciousness, one should not forget his past. Like whatever we did, sinful activities, maybe out of the four or any other, like we did any thievery or any activity. So one should not forget his past, whatever he did. He always should feel sorry for the activity which he did, and then after he should engage in devotion service, and by slowly he'll become so much taste, he'll get so much taste in devotion service, and actually after that he will become more and more sorry for what he did before. We see our acharyas, mm, even though they didn't did anything, any sinful activity, but they write in their poems and these things, like how much I am degraded I am, and there's a wonderful song by Hari Narottam Thakur that knowingly and unknowingly I eaten up the poison. I didn't worship Sri Radha and Krishna. Hari Hari Vipule Janam, and I just wasted my this very valuable life which I wasted by doing this sinful activities. So if we feel sorry of that, and we engage in devotional service, and then there's a time will be there that will feel much more dependent on the Lord, and then afterwards, this sinful tendencies will go out of the roots. Not like the karma kanda section, the sinful desires will be there. The addiction can be burnt out, but the desires will be there. But when someone engage in devotional service, then the sinful desires also goes away. So, in purport, one wonderful thing I read like is there. I need your attention. One who does not take to devotion service must follow the decision of the scripture by performing pious acts to counteract his impious act. This is known as atonement. Like what Prabhupada is saying, by doing any pious activity, we can counteract the impious act which we did before. But in our FOE session, we say, like, if we did any papa, we cannot counteract by punya. We give an example of someone drinks at night and morning goes to temple thinking like it will get counteracted. Or we also say like -4 plus 3, it will become how much we say it will -4 and plus. But Prabhupada is saying we can actually counteract the impious act by doing any pious act. So you want to share something on this? You understand my question? Okay.
In definition of and this is atonement. So here pious activities can mean activities according to karma kanda which are meant to counteract the particular sinful activity. Like if someone does some sinful activity, then there are some prescribed methods for him to atone. So here the pious activity can mean coming back.
So we can counteract. Then
can be countered by doing atonement.
So, but in FI we say like we cannot counteract.
That is like in general sense, like I commit murder and then I'll do something in general to counteract, then that will not work. But that specific counteraction which is given that can work.
So this is the point. If we know the what is scriptural injunction as mentioned for that atonement, and we follow that, then that counteraction will happen. It's not by my own whims. I will just do some sinful activity and then I'll try to nullify it by doing something else. That will not work. And one more thought which I got, like maybe the prarabdha will be there, but the future reactions, because whatever sinful activity we are doing, that reactions we'll get not in this life, very minute will get, and future lives will get those. So maybe those we can it will counted in a prarabdha. So maybe that can be nullified by doing any pious activity. Maybe not of this life. That was also I thought. So therefore, our activity should be according to the scriptures. That is point which I wanted to say. Like if our activities is according to scriptures, then there is a very less chance of committing any sinful activity, or then there will be very less chance of wasting our time for atonement and doing those things. We say in that there are three kind of activities. Lord Krishna says in Gita itself that there is a karma, and second is vikarma, and third is akarma. So karma means the duties or the activities according to Vedic scriptures. Vikarma is fully opposite what is mentioned in Vedic scriptures. He is doing opposite of that. Akarma means the action which does not generate any reaction. So all these three activities, all these three activity, the karma, vikarma, and akarma, there two things will be common. That is our senses and the sense object. In karma, our senses, we have to bring in contact with the sense object according to the scriptures. What is mentioned in the scriptures? Let's say someone want to get into a sexual intercourse, then the sense object should be according to the what is prescribed in Vedic literature. Okay, you can come, you bring your senses in the contact of a sense object according to the which is what he mentioned in Vedic literatures. In Vikarma, he will come in contact with the sense object according to him whims and not according to the Vedic scriptures. And because of that, it will get bound again more into the samsara. And akarma means to dovetail those sense object and the service of the Lord, means the sense object not no more any material, though those sense object as spiritual. And when we spiritualized and then we come in contact with the spiritualized sense object, our senses get purified, and automatically this will not create any uh, bondage or any uh, bondage to this material world. Actually, those will become the source of our liberation from this material world. So therefore, this understanding of engage in a karmic activity where our sense object should be only of spiritualized sense object, that will save us from getting entangled in this material world. Now, how from which time our this cycle of bondage is there? We say from Anadikal we are here. From Anadikal, this reaction of karma and vikarma, the reaction which we are getting, they are there for many many lifetimes. So very difficult to come out of this cycle, because the when Lord Brahma did the creation itself, the very first thing he created the avidya, means the he put living entity before bringing the living entities. He created the avidya. Avidya means who am I and what I'm supposed to do, and what is the difference, what is sat and asat, what is true and what is false, and those things he misidentified. Then after that, because of that avidya, we thought our real identity is this body. So so that's why the three reasons of our suffering is that avidya, papa, bija, and papa. So in avidya also there are five kind of divisions happen. So the first is self, this avidya, that is accepting that I am not the soul, I am body, that is avidya. Second is asmita. Asmita means when we start thinking that this body is self, because of the false ego. The we have ego, but when our ego become false, that I am the body, which is because of avidya, then we think asmita means we think our body and the things related to body is me, mine. This is me and this is mine. So this asmita is second kind of nescience which Lord Brahma created. And third is raga, that attachment to object which gratifies senses. We get attached more and more after many many lifetimes. In each life, we have some attachment to our sense object. And the fourth one is dvesha, is rejection of objects which does not gratify his senses. The hatred, likes and dislike, which we say. So that is the fourth kind of nishains. And fifth kind is abhinivesha, means absorption in the material life. Because of this raga and dvesha, we become more and more absorbed in this material life, and that ultimate end result of this abhinivesha is death. So as death comes, so this raga and dvesh becomes means of that body becomes zero. Then new body he get again new set of raga and that new set of dvesha. He likes something in new body, he hates something in new body. So because of this body, we have this bodily consciousness. We become get entangled in this, and because of the avidya which we have. In another scriptures, these fives are named as and tamishra, tamishra, mahamoham, moham, and tama, which come under and Bhagavatam. These five words comes, and different place this five comes. So these are the avidya, this very uh, root cause of us being in this material world, because we misidentify ourselves and thinking ourselves as body. Even if we see the first teaching Lord Krishna gave to Arjuna, that is also this teaching only, that you are not the body, you are a spirit soul. So because of his petty weakness of his heart, he became compassionate, overwhelmed by seeing his family members, and he thought this is mine. This I am this body, and these families are mine, family members. So the first knowledge which Lord Krishna gave is of that you are not the body, a spirit, soul. It's to bringing him from the ignorance to some light. So this knowledge of understanding, so that I am not the body, soul. So this is very important. And then, and this, because we understand ourselves as this body and forget ourselves as servant, so therefore we are suffering in this material world. This shloka comes in Chaitanya Chaitamrit. Krishna boli say jeev anadi bahirmukh atev maya tare de samsara dukh. Because we forgotten Krishna, we are getting attracted to the external energy of the Lord, illusionary energy Lord, which gives us suffering or miseries in this material existence. So due to our avidya, we forget our eternal, our conscious portion that we are eternal servant of the Lord. So the second suffering, because of avidya, is come, or the, because of avidya there is a development of papa bija. There is a difference between bija and papa bija. Papa bija means the seeds of sin. So whatever material desires aim for sense gratification, they are known as papa bija. Or material desires is sinful desires is equivalent to a sinful desire. So this papa bija, from this papa bija will be there if you are in this life or next life. In next life it will be like a stock of sinful activity which we did. And the third one is papa, that this desire, the sinful desire, that leads to sinful actions, that is known as papa. So because of this avidya, we have this papa bija, that is sinful desires or material desire. And because of material desire, when it comes into action, that is known as sin or papa. So when we commit any sinful activities, we have to get the sinful action. But the sinful action, as I said earlier, will not come in this very life. It will come in future lives. So it will count. It will be come under the aprarabdha. Means it will be there in dormant state. In future life, it will come. It will become manifested. So that the stock which we call that is not manifested is known as aprarabdha. You know? So when the right time comes, these become manifested. So when it get manifested, we call it the aprarabdha. When it about to get manifest is known as kuta. Kuta means the sinful reactions which we are supposed to face in this upcoming life, that is kuta. And then we are about to take Uh, then we are in this life, when we are will the fixed quota of our suffering is known as bija, that of this. So bija here represent subtle sinful reactions that are manifested as prarabdha karma. So because of the bija of our prarabdha, like uh, because of prarabdha, we got this body. But in this body, there in future we are supposed to suffer for some of the reactions. So those reactions which are supposed to serve suffering in this future life, in this future time, that is known as bija. That is known as bija. And papa bija means the ultimate sinful desires which we have, which is very dormant in nature, that is not manifested, and slowly it getting manifested in one life after one life, getting manifested. So just to simplify, uh, aprarabdha and kuta we combine together, that is unmanifested stock which is come in future. And in this life we got the prarabdha and the bija, which is we are supposed to get in this life. Okay, so this is the thing. So so therefore uh, prarabdha, kuta bija, and the papa bija and papa, these are the main reasons of what we are getting entangled in this material world. And we have to do the proper atonement of the actions which we did. And this but still this we do activities that is sinful in nature. So in Harinam Chintamani, there are two types of sinful activity which we do after coming to Krishna consciousness. One is like we do intentionally, and one we do unintentionally. और इसे premeditative means जानबूझ के करना, and unintentionally में अनजाने में, जैसे सो गया अनजाने में. तो जानबूझ के करना, जैसे now we know the glories of the holy name. If someone chant the one holy name, is thousands life, he could any sinful activities which it did, the direction of that will get burnt like a mountain of cotton. In few seconds it will get burnt, like this we say. And now after hearing this, we engage in any a sinful activity in the mood of that. Tomorrow I'll chant Hare Krishna mantra, and that become nullified by doing that. So that kind of motivation is premeditative, that is janbooch karna. If someone engage in sinful activity intentionally, then that will lead to, it will no more any sinful activity, it will count it as a offense, aparadha. uh, let's say for example, if there's a pujari or a service in charge, suddenly he told, okay, you are the pujari now, you have to go. So he's okay, he just went and he started doing worship. And when he started worshiping, after some time he realized he didn't did the achman, he didn't started with the achman. So now he thinks, okay, चलता है, कोई बात नहीं, कोई देखा भी नहीं है, कोई किसी को पता भी नहीं है, चलता है. Then this this will no more as seva currently it might be seva aparadh, but to counteract that, we'll take the shelter of holy name. So that will become nam aparadh, and this tendency will keep on increasing more and more, because that is counted in our uh, become sinful desire, the beej na. हाँ, that is bija. Then it will create more bija. Then again we'll become very much slackening in devotional service, and we think of, okay, chalta hai. So this kind of activity, which will known as premeditative, the जानबूझ के उस चीज को करना. Then again, but if someone is sincere, what he will do? Let's say he forgot to take achman, and then after doing his activity, he will beg for forgiveness. He'll chant more number of rounds to and pray to Lord, oh Lord, please forgive me if I committed this offense. So if seriousness is there in devotional service, so that will not any, that it become a nullify the reaction, but it is become very slackening. Again is doing it, taking it very lightly, those things. So that will count it as namaprad. And namaprad takes very long time after the bhava stage is, till bhava stage goes. So that's why it's very difficult for one who take very lightly any kind of offense. So there are four kind of offenses which we, or the aprad we heard in Madhurya Kadamini, that Nam Aprad, Seva Aprad, Vaishnav Aprad, and Jiva Aprad. So very severe is Nam Aprad. Is other, sorry, most severe is Vaishnav Aprad, and then Nam Aprad are same equilibrium, same potential to make someone fall down. So, but similarly, Vaishnav Aprad also we call is Hati Mata offense, because it can uproot the Bhakti Lata itself, the what devotion service we do. Because of Naprad, one can go away from the devotion service. Maybe he can, after some lifetime, he will come back, and maybe after some time, he will come back to devotion service if he realize he committed that offense. But someone commit an offense to Vaishnava, that become very severe. He will, until unless he don't pay or offer forgiveness to that Vaishnava, there is no any chance of he coming back to the realm of bhakti. So that is very dangerous. So these offenses looks very simple. The sinful activity which we do, and when we, because we are in bhakti, we'll take the shelter of devotion service only. So this sin itself take become offenses, as we heard seventh offenses, to commit sinful activity on the strength of the holy name. So that count as a offenses. So when we take the shelter of holy name, or any activity we are doing the devotion service, we have to be very careful. If we are not very careful, then we'll commit an offense. So now in sin also, there are three kind of sin. Like maybe some are counted as major then intermediate and minor. Major one is like killing a brahmana, consuming alcohol, thieving, having relation with the guru's wife. There are major sinful activities, and intermediate one, which are almost near, if lying for self, protecting oneself, that lying, or slandering of other before the kings, like talking about others before the king, and giving up the product conduct in regards to the guru, as the service we are supposed to do the guru if we are not having proper conduct. So that are known as, these are equal to the killing of a brahmana, so they are intermediate. Minor one is killing a cow, illicit intercourse, harming one's guru. Like not too much minor also, but according to Manu Samhita, these are the three things. So these are things. This is all the sins which are social exclusion, legal punishment are prescribed in this minor offenses. So in total, like if we do any activity which is not according to Vedic literature, uh, do those activities, so we have to get the suffering of the reaction. It can be major or minor, but in our case, this is the people in general. If people in general does any atonement, that is actually very nice. At least they are doing some kind of atonement. Lord Krishna says to Uddhava that tavat karmani kurvit na nirvidyet yavata matkata sharnaduva shraddhayavan jayate. So he's saying, as long as one is not satiated by fruitive activities and has not awakened his taste for devotional service by Shravanam Kirtanam, one has to act according to regular principle of Vedic instruction. So since they did not develop any taste for devotion service, and they did not become satiated by doing fruitive activities, so if they do any kind of atonement according to the Vedic literature, that is also okay. We should not become like what is doing such a low class activity atonement. Like again, he will do the same activity, but according to his condition, according to his position, the activity which he's doing, that is also glorified. It's not like condemned. We should not condemn them. But since we have faith in Dev service, Harikatha, so we don't need to engage in those kind of atonements. Can directly we can take the shelter of Lord's Lord's devotion service, and that will save us from any kind of afflictions. So, so due to this was a nice point, that when we engage in commit any offense, so the taste of devotion service goes away, because the offense is taken by the uh, Bhakti Devi. She takes that offense, and we say, like, I'm just recalling, uh, if we do any devotion service, the reaction we are supposed to get, the reaction of the, let's say someone chant the holy name, he will get some piety. But since Bhakti Devi is not like, since we committed, let's say we committed any offense, so Bhakti Devi will not give the result immediately. He'll, after some time it will give. We heard in the past time of during our Damodar past Damodar Lila, we heard like the a rat just simply took the wick in the mouth and just took the 7 rounds, and he went to Vaikuntha. So the bhakti is very very powerful. The whatever activity we are doing, worship or any taking the hartis and all, those angas are very very powerful. But since we committed any offense, the result, bhakti, they will stop for some time till we don't have the attitude, proper attitude. It will stop that uh, reaction of those things. So when Bhakti Devi is not pacified or not pleased by our activity, if we do any commit an offense, so she will do this kind of activity, and after some time we lose the taste also in devotional. The same activity which we are doing every day, chanting 16 rounds and doing a deity worship. If after doing repeatedly, if we are not become sincere and serious on those activities, that means we committed any offense, some offense maybe towards holy name or to Vaishnavas and all. Alert should come in a devotee's mind, like I did something wrong, that's why I'm not getting the same test which I am supposed to get after. Because increasing time in devotional service, that supposed to bring taste in devotional service, as we heard in Nectar of Instruction that our Rupa Goswami says. So we are affected by jaundice. If we take the medicine, the layers of jaundice will go off. So in starting, when we came to bhakti, we were feeling okay, some taste is there, but after some time we are not feeling the taste because of we committed an offense. So the alert should come. Maybe the jaundice layer is increasing now. I should increase more consciously, more cautiously. I should take the medicine properly. So if we take do those kind of activities very cautiously and praying to the Bhakti Devi, so this satiation in the bhakti also can come. So we can protect ourselves from that satiation. The taste will Bhakti Devi can give to us. So and when Bhakti Devi doesn't give the result, we one more sign is our material desires will also increase. When we are not getting any taste in devotional service, and we'll get more and more material desires, and material desires are the sign of we took the shelter of Maya. This shloka comes where Mayaradas kare nana vilash. So when someone becomes servant of the Maya, then only he take to thus many various kind of material desires starts. So instead of becoming the servant of Maya Devi, we should become the servant of Yog Maya or the Bhakti Devi or Srimati Radharani. We should take the shelter of that, and then after some time we'll become after if we take proper shelter, then we'll become protected. So therefore we say, when I still remember when I was there in FY level 3, and Harikshit Boji was giving the class, and he just asked us that what do you think after a few years, what you will do, the what activities which you will do after a few years in Ikeshamaji. Then we just we'll do the chanting only, we'll do the same activity which we are doing, the deity worship and all, because I already shifted to base. So these things, and so we said, then there will no any new activity. In material world, we see every now and then they uh, promote anything like upgrade. We see the phone, even the material, the songs and movies and all, they last for only a few years, and then after that it not. But in bhakti, the same activity we are doing, but every time when we do, it brings new and freshness. So Prabhu is saying that in bhakti there is no question of width, like how much the width we are increasing. Actually, the point of how much depth we are going, how much deeper we are going in the bhakti. If we go more and more deeper, that will bring new freshness, new uh, what do you call freshness, which will bring a new enlightenment, new realizations will come if we go more deeper into bhakti. And because the same activity we have to do now also and after 10 years also in the bhakti. So, but if we commit any offense, or the seventh offense which we are doing, like Jan Puj ki Karna, if we do any activity Jan Puj ki any offense, so that will bound us to samsara. So, and offense is very, very dangerous. Whenever the point come of sinful committing any sin or committing any offense, there's a wonderful pastimes come of Indradev. So Indradev, once he was enjoying with his wife Sachi Devi in his palace. So, and Gandharvas and Ekinnaras, they are singing and glorifying him. So his spiritual master comes, that is Brishpati. He comes and he didn't observe that his spiritual master came here. He was very much intoxicated with the pride, and he offended Brishpati like that. And Brashpati, to give him some lesson, he then and there he became vanquished. And when he is about to vanquish, he saw that his spiritual master came, and he became very, very regretful of that. Actually, this person will come in this same very uh, chapter only, I think. So he became okay. I committed a very big offense, and since he was the main priest of that or demigods. So since he was not there, so we heard in the yatra. So demons are always ready to attack if there are slackening of any prescribed duty or yagya and all. So when yagya was not performing, so demons attacked and they lost the battle, and demons took over the demigods kingdom. So they all went to Brahma. Lord Brahma, please help us. How we can take away the back our kingdom. So first Brahma chastises Indra that you committed very big offense to Espishma, so it's not proper. Like this, he chastised. And then after he gave the solution that this son of Tushta is named Vishwarupa. He's a Brahmana. So you can appoint him as a priest, main priest, and when he will do the sacrifices, then after some time you will regain your kingdom. But this Vishwarupa, he did the sacrifices and they got the kingdom, but he was giving the uh, remnants of the sacrifice to the demons also, because he is very much affectionate toward the demons and the demigods, is equal to both. So he was giving the result of those to the demons as well. So when Indra again he became angry, he when he saw this that he is giving the remnants to demons also, so he cut off or beheaded Vishwarup. Vishwarup had three faces, three heads. So he cut off that three faces, three heads. And then again he thought, okay, what I did again, I did very big mistake because of pride and anger. And then after he has the power to counter those reactions, but he said, okay, let the calamities come or the reaction, let the reaction come upon me. Then after some time, that his father, that Twista, he got to know that something like this happened. So he set for sacrifice to increase the enemies of Indra. And in the sacrifice, he did some mistake of mantra. And from there, Brahmana come, who is a demon in quality, that is Vritasur. And Vritasur come in, he brings the havoc to the demigods planets, and then he then the fight again the fight begins between the Indra and the Vritasur. Now he is who is their opponent is Brahmana. Vritasur is a Brahmana, but since of some mantra he chanted improperly, he get the demons. Or actually not a Brahmana, he is a pure devotee of the Lord. After when he start the fighting, when he prays to the Lord, that time he got to know that he is a pure devotee of the Lord. And then demigods were saying like, you have to kill him. If you don't kill him, then again we'll lose the battle and again we'll get uh, will lose our kingdom. So then he told like, if I do this kind of activity, then again I'll gain the sins. Then he says, then demigod says, no issue, like we'll do the Ashwamedha Yagya and we'll nullify your whatever sin you do. And he thought, okay, now there's no option. Then he killed the Vritasur. And then after it did such so much sin that sin personified lady with hunchback, the lady was always following him wherever he goes. That hunch lady was following him, and he became very very affected. And also like because of the sins, he lose the kingdom again. And then just to atone for that, he came to the Mansi Gangan, where sorry, na? Ah, Manas Sarovar, where Mother Lakshmi reside. So on the lotus, no, Mother Lakshmi there. So he went to the stem of that lotus flower. He decided in between the stem, and because since Mother Lakshmi is there, God is fortune that hunchback since will not follow him. So he stayed there, and demigods there, they are doing yagyas and sacrifices, and they are Agni Dev was supposed to bring the uh, o- oblation or what remnants, but he cannot give because there's water is there, some pastime is there. So he was also not able to give. So for 1,000 years, he was just simply uh, living actually without any food. He did that kind of austerity. That time only that King Nausha, because no one was there to rule, then King Nausha was appointed to become Indra, and then he became lusty towards Indra's wife, and then again he fell down, he became the snake. And so this was the one another person. So when he did for 1,000 years, then his sins got reduced. Then he came and he did his Ashwamedhi again. Then he became free from the sinful activity which he did. So such a time one has to waste. Like this is the thing. If someone engaged in sinful activity, so much time and energy, consciousness is has to be given just to atone for or to the face the reaction of that. Instead of that, if we invest time before doing any sinful activity, then we'll able to save ourselves from that wasting our time and wasting our consciousness and all. To doing any sinful activity, our mind tricks us. Mind's activity is thinking, feeling and willing. So in the thinking stage only we have to use our intelligence. What we do generally, when we about to do the activity, we use our intelligence. And then when willing, we are about to will, we think also, we feel also, okay, now we'll do this activity. That time also intelligence doesn't give nice solution. When you're about to will, about to do those activity, that time we use our intelligence, and after doing that activity we feel the guiltiness, and the intelligence also now took over. Now we give, okay, you did such a wrong thing, and this time is the last time I'll not do. Actually, Bhagavatam says, like in the thinking process only, when we are about to, we are thinking only that we'll do this sinful activity. That time only we should use our intelligence, proper intelligence. We should use that time only. We should stop thinking, thinking of that sinful activity. And if we don't do thinking during the thinking process, then the reaction will be the same which we are doing before all. So if we use our intelligence and our time and proper way and proper towards proper goal, then we'll be saved from many wasting our time and many of the reaction which we are supposed to face. So this is the best way which in future, like our Shukdev Goswami will give to Parikshit Maharaj, that first he give this karma kanda, then he'll not become satisfied by hearing this. Then after he give the jnana kanda solution, he will also not become satisfied. And the best solution which he gives to render devotional service to the Supreme Lord. And someone does the same devotional service, then automatically he don't have to atone, because it will destroy the root itself of that sinful desires which we have. So like this, today we understood few points of how atonement is good for us also and not for us also. Because if we do what, we'll take the shelter of the devotion service only of for our atonement. And if we engage in wrongly, if in devotion service, then we'll get entangled more into samsara. So with this I like to pause. Any questions? Any comments?
Like government and things and yeah, I had a few questions. The first time you mentioned about the government going to Asia, so you mentioned that you only went to the Fossil Ocean. That means you went to Mahavishnu. In the description, you can get the videos there and speaking of pronunciation. But in the previous chapter, Sheer Sagar.
Sheesh Sagar. Sheesh Sagar.
I heard this. Question you asked: sin can be counteracted by performing atonement against people. So this means the pious activities can't be cut down by like impious activities can't be cut down by pious activities. But atonements are like pious activities or like
Pious activity only.
somewhere where I heard this to atone for that act, you are supposed to drink hot ghee and all, and murderers should be hanged.
Mhm.
Those are not like some pious activities.
Uh, that is not atonement. That is like punishment to given to that. If someone does any wrongdoing, if he does any pious activity, then this can be counteracted. And another thing is, if does such a severe kind of impious activity, then the punishment is given. That the punishment will be not be pious activity. That I can speculate.
Drinking, he was not like even he was told he should drink only.
If you want to,
Then you can
counter it.
That is not some like bias.
If the impious activity is very very sinful, then this kind of solution, according to karma kanda, this is. And lot many will be there because Prabhupada is saying how many scriptures are there of 80 something. No? So might be there many solutions. These two solutions which we heard of.
Thanks for suggesting. Shubham is very nice point. Bhakti really after we are also this Bhakti is for only big guys. And to make this reference is Blue Money is approaching the
10th canto. 10th canto, last few chapters. One of the chapter is there.
because I have these doubts because Prabhu is appended is Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, who are the Lord Shiva Vaishnava method. So it is contract. It is facing that if you are somebody submitting of Vishnu and we are also.
That was intentionally done by Durga Samana. He was sages wanted to check who is supreme. So that was not intentionally. They wanted to check who is the mode of goodness, how tolerant these three main entities are there. So is that line also comes. So because he did something like this, uh, because of this motive, he'll not get any. He didn't got any erection of those. I think Prabhupada write or in not Prabhupada because his disciples are writing 10th canto last portion. So some of the Acharya wrote in the puppet or in shloka. I'm not able to recall, but this line was mentioned because he was not done this like of intention to harm them. It's for test. That's why we say Brigu's test. So that.
And the way Sunny coming to the passion, he himself because so many lectures to the mentions that vision auxiliary, the patient have is very the one who is handling the patient house. So he cannot divine the patient. So Brahma is coming.
We heard like the Lord Shiva also is a predominating deity of mode of ignorance, and we heard past times where he came into the mode of ignorance. Also. But actually, Lord Shiva is different because Lord Shiva pastimes are done by the Supreme Lord because he is a pure devotee. But Lord Brahma, he for creation one has to come into mode of passion to create anything. So he can. Like if you want to create anything, you have to come to passion. In mode of goodness, you cannot come or create anything.
He himself can comes under his neighborhoods. He can by the way the passion that he created.
Passion is created by like these three modes are under the shelter of the Lord. Like Lord is the giver of these three things. Then he appointed him as in charge of. So it can also come. So it's not created. Passion is created by.
So actually, companies are that way comes to that will affect the chanting. So in other like we feel that Haridu Pulina and Vaishnava Paramir means Nama Param and Vaishnava Paramir only affect the chanting Seva Pilar.
Seva Prad will lead to Nama Prad because we did any Aprad. And for atone, what we do? What we take the shelter of holy name only. For any activity we do, we take the shelter of holy name. So the Seva Prad will in future it will become Nama Prad. Seva Prad can be nullified by names. If someone changed the holy name, so Naam has the potency that can destroy the Seva Prad. But someone intentionally does the seva prad, that by chanting I'll nullify those things. So this seva prad will no more seva prad. This will become nama prad.
If someone is chanting, thinking that I'll counteract
Mm-hmm.
it's not.
Now that is nama prad.
By mistake, someone does then.
By mistake, unintentional. Oh, I didn't cover that. Unintentionally, we say that the shloka of Apiche Sudhajara, that shloka also come. That unintentionally does, that is, even we know so many rules and regulation. If it does any unintentionally also, afterwards, if we get to know, because we know also things, and after getting know this, okay, I did something wrong. What next step I am doing? That will determine how much what you will get the reaction. If you, after hearing, oh, I did such a big offense, then you're going to Lord, forgive us, and after hearing that, okay, it's okay, it's okay, that is be counted as upfront.
But Bhakti Vinod Thakur in that's he used so many reasons for the 10 offenses. No indication that Seva Parat is actually cause for the because it is so many white association.
Seva Aparad not a cause of, you will take the shelter of holy name, no? So you will take shelter of the holy name, then you will only make the Seva Aparad to Nama Aparad. Seva Aparad is not, I'm not saying Seva Aparad is the cause of Nama Aparad. Because your intention will become by chanting, I'll take the, by taking the shelter of the holy name, I'll nullify the reaction which I did. Are you getting my point? Or I'm saying something wrong? I don't know.
It is similar to committing sinful activity on
Hmm.
sinful activity does not have direct relationship with name, but thinking that this name will counteract with name. Seva Parat can easily just to create a like even knowing the that will be, but when it comes to Pulina, probably not. Maharashtra were given this explanation also. This Seva Pratikuni Namatra. It happens if someone intentionally interested and thinking of their intentions. Thank you very much for this class. So this description of Prarabdha Bhutam Bijam, this is different from what we teach in FOA.
This is according to what we heard in Nectar of a Devotion. विद्वान गौरव प्रभु जी के बुक से मैंने उठाया, मैंने तो कुछ प्रभु जी के उसमें लिखा है ब्यूटी साइड, तो वहां से मैंने ट्राई किया, तो मुझे भी थोड़ा बहुत, मतलब टर्मिनोलॉजी सभी भी थोड़ा क्लियर नहीं, बट कुछ कुछ समझ में आया कि अप्रारब्ध एंड पाप बीज is the stock which you have for many lifetimes, and then prarabdha and kuta which we are supposed, papa and bija we're supposed to face in this very life, and kuta means that is a transition, like from जो मुझे लगा ऐसे, from the sinful desires and to the action which are supposed to be more clear. Karthik you can clarify. Hmm. Thank you. Hare Krishna. हाँ? ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की